Hello and good morning, trophies. Welcome to I Jump Instead on YouTube. My name is Stephanie and welcome back to today's class. Hopefully you are here every single day for this advanced therapy for beginners and for all levels of fitness. We're on a rebounder and we're adding bouncing to our deep stretching and strengthening and rehabilitation. We all have areas of our body that are a little bit weaker and some areas that are stronger. And this is about balancing out the body and acknowledging our weaknesses and applying a gentle bounce and nose breathing to those areas in order to advance them. And the body wants to be in balance, so the body will naturally find its balance. Just like how in some moves, certain muscles may take over, when we do therapy, the body wants to prioritize its weaknesses. So it won't necessarily be strengthening other areas at this, it will be, but it won't be prioritizing strengthening areas over the weaknesses. It's going to catch up and it's going to help to balance out and create that homeostasis that it truly desires. So I am on a Cellerciser rebounder. If you're interested in learning about this rebounder or other rebounders that we recommend here at I Jump Instead, you can visit our website, ijumpinstead.com. We always have a handlebar on our rebounder. Most manufacturers do offer a handlebar option in case you need to get one ASAP, ordered ASAP. And shoes are optional. You're welcome to wear shoes if you'd like to. We have a 25-minute class getting started right now. We're gonna go through the whole body and we're going to go inward and feel inward. I want you to go at your own pace. If the bounce speed of your rebounder is a little different than mine, just follow along with the bounce speed of your unit and get into that rhythm. That's the rhythm that your rebounder is offering you. Take that up, connect to it, be in that bounce, be in that gentle bounce, and let's feel into the lengthening. We want to be gently lengthening, applying that bounce, nose breathing, and we also want to be connecting to our strength. Let's say we were on a big 20 by 20 rebounder and we are walking around, and let's get started. Oh, last but not least, I'm gonna finish up on that. I have a pillow and a towel close by because we're gonna be doing some lay bouncing. So let's pretend we were on a big, huge room-sized trampoline and we had a bar, okay? And we were standing on the mat and we started bouncing. Let's go ahead and start bouncing and let's put our feet in a wider stance. This is about connecting to the flexible surface of the ground and acknowledging that this fluctuates gravity against our body. And we want to recognize that even for some people, just this alone is more strenuous than walking. So this is actually very strengthening. And if you're already able to bounce, you're one step ahead, or you're advanced to some degree. Bouncing is adding weight, and it's not easy for some people to stand on this rebounder and connect to the strength it takes to stand on this rebounder. And then we can take our strength to so many levels by using this mat, maybe even envisioning the mat being bigger so we can really start to feel, maybe it's more so that we want to be playful and we want to feel like we're on a playground and we have a bar and we're connecting to our strength while we are playing, okay? So let's get into it. Let's actually put our feet together. This is the style that I'm feeling good about right now, and this is a great stance as well. And I want you to be in a past hip width stance if that is making you feel more stable. But we have our hands on the bar, feet together, chest up, chin level, and then we can put a little brace in the core, poking the core. And I also want you to draw in from the center of underneath your body in your core. Draw it up. Contracting the pelvic floor is one way to put it. We want to feel the core, the full core, activating and connecting. And then we apply this bounce, move the breath, and have fun today, okay? So let's also relax the shoulders and draw from the spine, from the lower spine. Bring the chin to the chest and push your chin into your chest. As you keep your chest upright, push the chin into the chest and slowly, feeling every single bounce, rotate your head to the side. So every bounce is a nice weight wave, a resistance wave, into the muscles, into the tendons and the ligaments and the spine and the neck. So ear to shoulder to the side, and every bounce gets you into a little stretch wave. Let's slowly bring the head forward, feeling every slow bounce, every gentle bounce, and ear to the other shoulder. And we want to just keep that nose breath in motion. Let's slowly rotate forward again, feeling maybe a little deeper into that stretching. And this time here, I want you to lift your chin and simply reach with the chin, lengthening the jawline, keeping the core connected, the pelvic floor connected. Reach with that chin and just feel a beautiful lengthening in your face. And let's go ahead and rotate the head to the other side, keeping those shoulders relaxed, and gently feel into the jawline, reaching and breathing, noticing that the breath also helps to bring us to the progression of our stretching. And let's go ahead now, facing our head forward. Let's turn our head to one side, keeping the chest and pelvic floor engaged. And let's bring the head over the shoulder if we can, just to a very comfortable extent, lifting and twisting, breathing. Now, remove the hand that you're facing off the bar, and let's hold the bar with the outside hand, and let's gently twist the upper body so we have a contrast between our hips and our shoulders. So we're putting that nice deep twist in the spine and applying that gentle bounce. Pulling the back shoulder back will help you get into that stretch. And I want you to feel poised and graceful, drawing up from the pelvic floor, moving the breath, and just a very gentle bounce is all it takes. But I want you to go into your stretch, feeling into it, feeling connecting into a slight progression. And when you're ready, I want you to slowly come out, keeping the spine nice and tall, and switch hand grips to the other side, other hand. Keep that spine nice and tall. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and look over the shoulder as well. We could be facing forward and looking over the shoulder first, but I do want to give that neck a nice deep stretch on its own. Facing the chest to the side, let's pull that shoulder back. We're keeping our toes facing forward, and we are standing tall and elegantly, drawing in from the pelvic floor, twisting a little bit deeper, moving the breath. Three, two, one, slowly coming out. We're facing forward. Hold that bar, keep yourself stable. And let's go ahead and bring the shoulders down, back, up, and forward. So the heels might be doing a little pumping off the mat, and maybe not. Actually, my feet are fully connected to the mat, and I'm just keeping my body in a very gentle motion. And I want to feel into my shoulder stretch in every position. So the pulling down, the pulling back, up and forward, connecting to the full circular motion with the nose breath, with the pelvic floor connected. Let's go ahead and do back shoulder rolls, keeping that pelvic floor engaged. Now let's go ahead and go forward, and let's do alternate shoulders. So this is going to connect a little bit more so to the waistline, and I want you to keep your core and your back stable with that connection. Removing one hand off the bar kind of helps me to face my chest a little bit more to the side as I'm rolling forward. And now let's go backward. Three, 2, and 1. Let's bring our feet to a past hip width stance, and let's draw in the pelvic floor and hold. Just gently bouncing here and release. And hold it again. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Taking one hand and putting it behind the head. And if you're comfortable and your feet are in a wide enough stance, you can take the other hand and bring it behind your head as well. And we're doing a very relaxing stretch into the shoulders. One at a time is okay. If you have one, that's perfect. But I'm going to show you from the side. I want you to be bouncing ever so gently, just being in a motion. And if the hands or one hand is behind the head, I want you to lift the chest. And I want you to fully let go in the shoulders. And you might notice that the elbows can pull back just a little bit. And breathe, feel the breath extending you into a deeper stretch. And that bounce, it just can be so gentle because it's rare to be able to, it's exclusive to be able to put a stretch like this in motion. That's what's so amazing about the flexible surface underneath our feet. If you're doing one hand, go ahead and switch sides. And I want you to connect to that relaxation in the shoulders and that motion that you're putting it under. See if you can let go a little bit more, go a little deeper into that stretch. Feeling comfortable in your position, however that feels for you, adjusting your neck just to make sure you're feeling really good and relaxing into there. And it feels like it's opening up. It feels like it's loosening up the tightness in there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's slowly bring our arms down and keeping our feet just past hip width stance. Let's go ahead and slowly lean the shoulder down on one side, keeping the chest up, and we'll pull the shoulder on this side up. And we are let's shift our body weight into that standing leg. The shoulder that's lifted, lean into this leg. This is a support leg. And let's just feel into that stretch into the waist. This is how it looks from the side. I want to keep my chest up. So I go straight into the side of my waist and of my lower back. Move that breath. Feel the breath taking you further. Let's go ahead and slowly come out and go to the other side. So we're going to shift our weight into this leg. Keep the chest up, lift that shoulder, and go deep, or not too deep. Just go to your extent, feeling good. Let it feel good, and lift that shoulder, and connect to that advantage that you have, the flexible mat, that feeling where you can be in a bounce, you can bring this stretch into a motion. A gentle motion. It's so potent. That's why we keep saying this is concentrated, because people are usually not adding a bounce to the stretch, especially in physical therapy. And that's why we call this advanced physical therapy, because you are doing something so great, connecting to a deeper circulation and flexibility, a greater circulation and deeper flexibility. Let's slowly come out. If you need to kind of sit for a second and let that recalibrate, go ahead. And let's see if we can go back to the other side and one more stretch on each side. Weight is in the standing leg. Chest up, lift that shoulder. Move the breath through the nose. If you want to lift this knee, the bent knee here, if you want to lift that hip up, that could get you in a little bit of a stretch. Nice feeling. Let's go ahead and come out slowly. Rotate your weight to this leg. Supporting leg, chest up, lean that shoulder over, and you can maybe lift this hip up. Just being in that nice, gentle massage, motion, bounce, connecting to the breath. 3, 2, slowly come out. relax the shoulders completely. Let's go into our jaw stretch. I was doing this yesterday. I showed up for class yesterday, and well, I wasn't in Sally's class, I was in my class. I did this exact same session, and I was imagining myself at the dentist. And I was like, I know, dentist, I got this down pat. I've been practicing opening my mouth, and I'm strong. It doesn't mean that I don't need to take breaks, but let's do it. Let's be at the dentist in this moment. And let's open wide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Great job. Now let's close our mouths. Let's fill our cheeks with air. And let's rotate the head side to side, feeling the bounce, the nose breath, and the stretch in our cheeks and in our jawline. Kind of reach with the chin. And you're going to get stronger at this too. 3, 2, and 1. Now let's do a whistle. Let's spend 15 seconds whistling. You can just do one note and whistle as much as you want to, okay? Practicing our whistling, love it. Let's go ahead now and tap our face. So feet are in a stance that makes you feel good, and we only need to gently bounce. Let's draw on the pelvic floor. Let's connect. Let's feel the circulation tapping, helping to tighten the face. It feels good. Only tap with the intensity that feels good. And you can tap anywhere. You can tap on your cheeks, your jawline, the sides of your neck, your forehead, your temples, underneath your eyes, very gently, anywhere you'd like. You could go into your body and tap anywhere you want. I like to go into my cheeks here, thinking maybe those smile lines will get a little tighter because I'm bringing more circulation. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's go ahead and put the hands back on the bar. Let's bring the hips, shoulders, and chin forward together. And just sink into that little bob, that stretch. This is what it looks like from the side. See if you can breathe into your back a little bit with that inhale through the nose. And then with the exhale, push your hips forward a little bit more maybe. Just interacting with your breath. 3, 2, 1, and let's come back up and let's bring the shoulders, hips, and chin back. So getting your back into a nice arch and connecting with a gentle bounce. The pelvic floor, this is a good opportunity to draw in the pelvic floor and see how deeply you can go into this nice stretch. And then you just massage that stretch. Breathe through it. Have fun with it, enjoy. 3, 2, and 1. So we have 2 options. I would love to squat down on the mat, and some of us aren't ready for that. And I want you to hold the bar and instead draw one knee up and go into the flexibility into your hip. See it just how much motion and nose breath you can bring to this knee stretch, and then we can switch sides, but not quite yet. And if you're ready to kneel down with me, you can. And I just want to hold the rim of the bar and arms either inside your knees or outside, either way, connecting to the stretch in your back. And each time you do this, if you're joining this class most days or several days in the week, you can sit a little differently each time. You might just have your knees, or one knee between your both arms, and just feel and connect, and take this opportunity to be stretching daily in new ways and feeling good. And one way too, if you're doing a leg hold, you can switch knees. And you can just be in a rotation if you want to. You could also lean forward like this and push your elbows into your knees and open into the inner thighs. And we're gonna go ahead and stand up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This is strengthening for the ankles and the feet and the knees and the hips, and very good for circulation and mobility. Let's go ahead now and let's sing. I'll go ahead and just do one note, and you can join me. Here we go. I realize I'm humming, and let's do humming. One more. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and put one foot towards the side of the mat, and let's draw in the pelvic floor. Let's lengthen one leg off the side of the rebounder, and I want us to point with that foot. This arm can come up, and I would encourage it, if you can, to reach and feel the lengthening happening in that arm. As you lengthen that foot, bring the toes down. Now lift the foot up and flex the foot, and bring the toes down and lift it up, and we're just barely bouncing here, and point for 5. I want you to reach with your fingers and toes. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's go to the other side. Chest up, draw in the pelvic floor, lengthening that leg, pointing the fingers. Reach with this arm. So we're reaching with the fingers and toes, connecting the two, lengthening. Lift the foot, point, lift the foot, reach those fingers, and let's point for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. And let's go to the other side. This time we're gonna do a toe spread and ankle rotations. So I'm just gonna give you about 20 seconds to do both. We're gonna start with our pelvic floor connection, chest up, nose breathing. Start by opening the toes, wiggle, rotate, anything you want to do to practice your toe spread. Now let's slowly do our ankle rotations. Beautiful deep stretching into the ankles, the shins, the calves, the heel. Everything is getting beautifully rehabilitated and strengthened. 3, 2, and 1. And let's switch sides. Keep that chest up, really nice posture here. And let's open those toes, spread them wide. Now let's get into some ankle rotations. Feel, feel, feel. Shins, calves, even the knees. If we're stretching deep enough, it goes up higher and higher. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent job. Let's go ahead and do a little pump here. I'm going to show you from the side. See how I'm lifting the heels up? Let's be in a nice posture here, and let's lift the heels up. Let's feel the body sink and lift, putting our body against a little bit more resistance. Nose breathing, relax. So the knees bend just a little bit, just like that. Relax the shoulders, keep the chest up. See if you now can draw in that pelvic floor. And I tend to think that with all the bouncing and the consistency that we are involved with, we're strengthening the pelvic floor. And we want to connect our minds to the pelvic floor. But if we put our pelvic floor against a little bit more resistance, just a little bit more, that is ultimately going to strengthen the pelvic floor a little bit more. That doesn't mean we go to the extreme of a high bounce. We just notice that that's what this is, resistance training. This is resistance, and there's all types or all levels of resistance. And so we just become aware of that, recognize that, and that's why there's such great potential for creating profound muscle development on a rebounder, because this is a resistance mat. But I want to emphasize this. Let's pull our ears. Let's bring the bounce back to very gentle. And let's pull on the ears while I talk. I want to emphasize that the majority of our training with I Jump Instead is feet flat against the mat with a heel pump, typically with just a heel pump. And what we're really connecting to, what the skill is, keep pulling those ears, what the skill is on a rebounder is connecting with our flexibility, our lengthening, and with the contraction of the muscles. When we realize that we're in a motion, we're bringing the muscle contraction and the mind to muscle connection, we're bringing that and we're connecting it to the motion of the bounce and the manipulation of gravity and forces of acceleration and deceleration, which is advancing the efficiency of the move. Just the motion alone is profound. If you were to just do any sort of weightlifting and you were to add motion to it, studies would reveal that it is a faster result. There's faster progress. So we're bringing the motion to our contractions. But the skill of bouncing and building that muscle is learning and connecting and discovering our mind to muscle connection. So when we are able to learn how to contract the muscles, whether it be the full arm or maybe just the bicep and the tricep, or maybe we can connect to the shoulder muscles, we can connect to the chest. When we start to really discover and develop the skills of mind to muscle connection, and then we apply the motion of a gentle bounce, we don't have to ever be bouncing or jumping high. We just need to learn and develop our skills of mind to muscle connection and contraction and lengthening. And then we progress the development of these muscles very quickly because we're in that motion. We're nose breathing, which makes it more efficient. And we are developing our mind to muscle connection skills. So we don't necessarily have to be isolating one muscle at a time. We can be using full upper body, full core, full lower body, full back of the lower body, glutes. The development of the connection is what advances the moves and progresses the moves. We're in motion, we can bring the motion to the moves and the nose breathing, as I'm saying, but we don't ever have to be jumping high. But jumping high is also in its own sense of the message and of understanding, rebounding, and building muscle. Jumping high is another way to add resistance, to add more weight. So there's that, and that is a concept, and that is part of the equation. But connecting deeper to the mind to muscle connections, we just have to be in motion. So that's all I have to say about that. Let's go ahead and lay down for just a few minutes. And I've got my towel and pillow. And the pillow is for head comfort. It's not, required, but it's comfortable. And I like to have my head right on the rim of the rebounder. And I have a towel because I'm on a spring rebounder that I do put oil on several times a year. And I don't want to get any oil on my nice suit. But anyway, I'm going to face away from you guys to the best of my ability. Anyway, one leg up, one foot on the ground. How does that sound? Let's go into our hamstrings. I'm loving this stretch. I'm loving it. You keep me accountable. Okay, lifting the heel, pointing the toes. And we got our leg upright and we are pulling the leg back just a little bit, connecting to our nose breathing, our hamstring, the back of our knee. Maybe a little quick massage. I could do this for longer. We don't have time. So point the toes and lift the heels and stretch and breathe. Pull that hamstring 3, 2, 1, knee. Other knee comes up and pushes against the heel. So we bend that, the straight, the stretching leg. And this would be the glute stretch that I'm loving. and we can rock side to side and go deeper. And this also connects us to that SI area, the lower back, and we can feel a nice deep stretch. And for anybody wondering about the liner under this suit, it's a liner. It's not anything special. It's not underwear. It's a liner, and it's great. These little suits here are comfortable, and we get them online at Free People. They're called Righteous Runsies. So let's go ahead and swap legs in 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to put this leg down and put the other leg up. Bring that leg into that stretch. And then what really connects me to the stretch is pointing the toe and lifting the heel. And then we have the ability to be brave and be bold and lift that heel a little bit further. Feel a little bit of a deeper stretch in the calves. Recognizing that calf flexibility allows us to go into the backs of our knees more and the hamstrings more. The calf flexibility is so important, and the heel flexibility, the whole body works together, and that's why we love lengthening and we love rehab and stretching. So let's go ahead now. Oh gosh, the top of the foot feels so good. Oh, just to push those toes forward. So now let's just go into the glute, bending the knee, bringing the heel in front of the other knee, rocking side to side. And I'm doing a lot of talking while you're doing all your nose breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you want to stay here, I encourage you to stay here and put your legs. I love finishing class with a good leg inversion, but there's lots of ways to end class. And I'm just going to quickly mention that with the adding motion to the opportunity we have with flexibility and with strength, the same thing goes for stretching and flexibility. We want to actually encompass contraction of the muscles, mind to muscle connection. We want to encompass that equally to the flexibility and the lengthening. And so it only requires a gentle bounce. In fact, more so, it requires only a gentle bounce to connect to our flexibility and lengthening in order to progress our fitness, our mobility, our flexibility, and ultimately maybe develop reveal more of our results with more lengthening. If we can lengthen the muscles, we can stretch out the muscle cells and build more density. I'm going to have to just read up on this because that's what it is we're lengthening and we're creating more opportunity for muscle density, and we're ultimately helping with the ratio of fat to muscle. We're helping ourselves recomp. When we create that flexibility, we're helping ourselves to replace fat with muscle and to help burn off excess of what we don't need. Thank you for being here. Give me a like if you like the routine. I'm coming back tomorrow. I'll see you there. I'll see you tomorrow. Anytime you can show up, day or night. I'd love to have you. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And leave me a comment. Go ahead and tell me down in the comment section. Give me a checkbox, or you can send me the weather report. I think that's so fun. Everybody's got different weather, tornadoes and lightning and all kinds of things. So send me the weather. I'm going to give you a big sunshine today. It's gorgeous in the Pacific Northwest. Thank you so much. Check out ijumpinstead.com if you have questions about things like that, like rebounders and such. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.